Okay. Hi everyone. So welcome to class exercise number 4. This is module 4, and the title is called Backup and Security, which is one of the most important things as a DBA if you do decide to become a database administrator or a database developer. Okay, so back in the old days, backup and recovery was one of the most important things I did. And this is what the lab is on. So if you go to module 4 and download the class exercise number 4, you'll see the document there. There are a series of 13 tasks or 13 print screens. And then we're going to go through this together. Okay. All right. So let's go and get started. So if you can, please open up your IDE here. So I have mine open. All right. So we all know basically to create a database, pretty much you just type in create database and then the name of the database. So here, let's call it DB. All right, something like that. Okay. All right. So execute that, and we also know, but we use the use command to point to the DB, and you have to highlight it. Okay, and you'll notice that that's going to point to the DB up here. All right, so we have a database. We have nothing in it though. Okay, so and then I'm going to create a quick table here. So create table. Let's call it test table, and then we'll just give it an ID, no primary keys, and we'll just call it full name. Okay, and we're going to put this table inside the DB. All right, so we have that table safely stored. Okay, now if you expand the database folder, you'll notice that you have the DB. Now we're going to back this up. Okay, so there are different backup schemas or different ways you can do it. And here, pretty much you just call it the backup database and the name of the database. So here I'm going to call it DB. And then here we'll say to disk equals and single quotations here. Now, you should never back up to a C drive. So what I did was I have my E drive, which is basically, let me delete this here. Let me that. Okay, which is my USB drive. So it's a good idea to, if you do have a USB drive, and mine is called E, so you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to point to the E drive, and then here I'll just call it DB. Okay, and then .BAK. So BAK stands for backup. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to run this. Okay, so as you can see, that runs successfully. And that's going to be, you can pause this video, and that's going to be your first print screen. Okay, so that's going to be print screen 1, pretty much. Okay. All right, go ahead and pause it. And you'll notice that we have a database.bak. You'll notice that it's very small. It's about 2.6 megabytes. All right, so if I go back here and if I continuously run this here, I'm going to run it one more time. Okay. And look at it. So as you can see, that's going to double. So every time I run this, I'm going to run that again. So that's going to double right there. Okay, so I'm going to run it twice. And you'll notice that now it always doubles, even though there's no due data on there. So what this means is pretty much taking up that backup of that same size database and it's pretty much compiling it on top of it. So so you can run out of disk space really, really quickly, especially if it's a large database. Well, can you imagine if you have to back it up every single day, every 1 hour, and so forth? Okay, so that's the way how you can back up, the entirety of the database. Okay, so even though if you don't have any new data in there, and so forth. Okay, and then later on we're gonna see how we can use the with format option. All right, now let's talk about the SQL Server agent. You see it right there. The SQL Server agent is if you want to automate processes. So for example, you do have to turn it on. So I'm going to right click and click on the start button. It's going to ask you to start it up. Okay, and then click on yes. And hopefully it does start up without no problems. Okay, and then you can expand it here. What a job is, basically, you can give it a job to automate certain tasks. So if you right click and then click on new job here, and this is going to give you kind of like a wizard here. So here I can call it backup database DB. Okay, so the owner is me. And you can give a description, that's optional. If you click on steps, you want to click on the new button on the bottom here. And when you do that, it's going to give you another window, and you pretty much give it a step name. So for example, here I could say backup database DB, and you can have as many steps as you want. Now, what I could do here is pretty much I could go back. Let me see if I can go back here. I can copy the backup script and just paste it here. So that's gonna now automate it. So I can click on the parse button. So what that means is it's going to check for any kind of errors in the script, and so forth. Okay, so if you click on OK, there we go. And then you can provide a schedule. So if you click on schedule here, you can click on new, and you can call it anything you want. I'll just call it the same thing. Backup database DB. And if you look at here, you can say recurring, one time, right here, or you can say recurring, and then here I can say, for example, let's say Monday, Wednesday, and maybe Friday. Okay, it's gonna run at, let's say, okay, so my system time is about 2:35, so I'm gonna put it to 2 minutes ahead. So whatever your system time is, just to test it out. So I'm gonna put it to 2:37, and this is gonna say PM for me. Okay, so it occurs once that, or occurs every 1 hour at 2:37 PM. So 2:37 PM, I got about a minute left and ending that. Okay, so I'm gonna click OK, and then click OK again. Now, once you do that, you should see your job. If you click on the plus sign, you should see your job right here somewhere. Where is it? Here we go. Backup database DB. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here, and you should see that mine is about 10.5 megabytes. So that's going to automatically increase, okay, in about a minute. So it should, when the job starts, it should run that script automatically for us, okay? Now that's going to occur every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today's Tuesday, right? Okay, so let's see. I might have to go back. Okay, I'm going to see if this works. I don't think it worked because I said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so as you can see, it's still 10.591. Refresh that. Yeah. So I have to go back. So if you want to go back, you can right click and then go to properties. Okay, if you click on properties here, you can always go back and change some things. So if I click on schedules again, I'm going to click on the edit. And here I said Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, so today's Tuesday. All right, I'm just going to do there we go. Okay, so my system time right now is at 2:37. So I'm gonna put this to 2:39 p.m. Okay, starting at 2:39 p.m. Okay, all right, 2:39. So that's about 2 minutes from now. Click OK. Click OK again. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back here. In about 2 minutes, that should increase to about 12 something, I think, 12 or 13. Okay, so let's wait here. We got about 1 more minute left. The great thing about this job is you can write any kind of, you can actually input any kind of script you want inside those jobs to automate your scripts instead of having to click on the manually run them. Okay, got about a couple 30 seconds, I think. Okay, I'll let you know when I hit 2:39. Okay, it hit 2:39. There we go. You see that? It was at, I think it was at 10. Yeah, as you can see, it jumped up to 13. Okay, so we know that it worked. So that's going to run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. if you go back here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can always double click on it. So that's going to run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 2:39 p.m. Okay, so when should I back up in a real situation? Well, you should back up a database when the employees all went home, because now you know basically you have captured all the data, all the transactions that has happened. So usually about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. is an ideal time to back up your database just in case if something goes wrong. Okay, so as you can see, it shows you right there. Okay, all right. So as you can see, test other scripts. You know, when you get the time, and it's pretty cool what you can do. Put that on your resume too if you want to become a DBA. All right, so that's pretty cool. Okay, all right. So here's the print screen for this one. So if you click on General, so this is the print screen right here. Okay, right here. Okay. So if you click on General and actually, I'm sorry. If you click on, let me see, go to Steps. Sorry about that. Double click. Here is your print screen right here. Okay, I meant General here. Okay, so let me do that again. Go to Steps, double click on Steps, and then here double click on the step name, and that should open up this. So this is your print screen number 2. Okay, just you know, ensuring that everyone did it. Okay, there we go. Okay, everything. Okay, now we can also use something called with format. So remember, the size of the database is really about 5. No, actually it was 2, I think, if I remember. So we could use something called a with format. So here, I'm just going to put with format. What that with format means, I want to delete the I want to delete the backup, the most current backup, and create a new backup. So this is what I mean. F5 that. If you go back to the size of the, you see 2.6. You see that? That's the actual size of the database. It's not 13. It's 2.6 megabytes. Now, no matter how many times I run this here, I'm going to run a couple times. It's always going to be 2.6. So the question is, which way should I do it in a real situation? Well, it's conserve space if you use the with format, because the disk space can run out of space really quickly. Okay, so this is going to be your print screen number 3, basically with the with format option. All right, now I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to create another job. I'm going to copy this Word format. I'm going to open up a new job. There we go. I'm going to say backup database DB with format. Okay, I'm going to go to steps here. Click on the new button. Okay, and then here I'm going to paste it, the script, going to parse it. Okay, let me just call it, I'll call it backup database DB with format. And then click OK. Okay, and then if you go to steps and double click on the backup database format, this will be your 4th print screen right here. Okay, your 4th print screen. Okay, print screen number 4. Okay, now you don't have to schedule it. So what I could do here, I'm going to go back to this .bak. I'm going to right click and I'm going to see if I can delete this here. Okay, so it's gone now, right? So we don't have any backups no more. Now, you can actually right click on it, and then here I can say start job at step. So this is if you want to start it manually. So I'm going to run it. Gives you this success. Now if I go back, you'll notice that it created that with format option. So you can run it manually too. Okay. So you know, for some reason, if you want to test it out first, and if it works, then obviously you want to automate the process too. Okay, so that's that option right there. You'll see on page 6 different types of backup types here. You see the full backup, differential, transaction log backups, and those are pretty self-explanatory. You know, go ahead and read on those, and then those are different types of backups. Okay, so I want to go to something called a transaction log backup. Okay, so this is what a transaction log backup will look like. Okay, we created a test, and in here I'm going to say insert into test values. Let's say 1, and then let's say full name. Let's just give it your name. Okay, I'll just give it my name here. We're gonna run that. We got 1. Select everything from the test table. Okay, we should have 1 there, right? ID with the full name. Okay. Now here, what I could do is I can back up the log only. And I'll show you what the log means. Here, so I'm gonna say DB to disk equals. Now I'm gonna put it in the same location here. Okay, right there. Except here, I'm gonna call this TRN, transaction log. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna back up this, and then here I'm gonna say go. I'm gonna highlight the insert statement. Like that. I'm gonna just put 2 here. I'll put somebody else's name. John Doe. Okay. And then let's do I'm gonna back up this again. I'm gonna say TRN, let's call this TRN. Let's put 1 underscore. I forgot to do that. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste. Go means go to the next step. And here I'm gonna say TR2 TRN. So we can kind of differ what we're backing up. So I'm gonna copy and paste this, and let's say 3. Okay, 3. How about Jane Doe? Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Let me make sure I got this right first. Okay. Okay, so let's see. All right, so it basically starts up here. So we inserted something. We inserted 1 row. Let me pull this down here. Okay, so we insert 1 row here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one out. Okay, there we go. We inserted 1 row. We backed up that 1 row. We inserted a 2nd row. We backed up that 2nd row. And then we're gonna have to back up the 3rd row. Okay, so I forgot to do this here. We'll say go. And we'll put a 3 here. Okay, and that's it. So pretty much what we're doing is we're backing up each individual. So I'm backing up this one to this one to call 1, backing up this statement to 2, backing up the 3rd statement to 3. Okay, so as you can see, okay. All right, so now I'm gonna highlight, since I already created this one, I'm gonna highlight up to here, go down, okay, F5 dot, okay, we should get successful. If you look at here, we got TRN, TRN, TRN. So this TRN, so it's very small. It's pretty much what that did. It backed up this part right here. Okay, so which is the first insert statement. So you can back up, certain transactions. You don't have to back up the entire database, but only certain transactions, if you will. Okay. All right, so that's going to be print screen number 5, by the way. Okay, so all the way up to here and down here. Okay, that'll be print screen number 5 on the lab material, right? Okay, now, how do we restore? So we have a backup. Now what we want to do is restore, right? So let's see here. I'm going to say this would be. Let me write some comments here, by the way. This would be print screen number 4. Oh, that was number 5 actually. So this would be print screen number 6. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to say use master. I'm going to say go, drop database, DB. Now we're going to drop it. All right, so let's see if this works here. I'm going to use the master, drop the database, and the database should no longer be here. So here I'm going to right click on the database folder, refresh. It's no longer there. Okay, so we completely dropped it. Okay, but we do have the backup still, remember. Okay, so now to restore, I can say backup. I'm sorry, not backup. We can say restore the database. Okay, So let me go to, actually, this is going to be print screen number 7. Sorry about that. This will be print screen number 7. Okay. We're going to go to 6 later on. Okay, so here we type in restore. Database. I'm going to restore it back to DB. Okay. Now here we say from disk equals. Okay, so I backed it up here. There we go. Okay, now I want to restore from the db.bak. You notice that I have a db.bak here. Okay, that's where we want to restore from. So now, if I highlight this and run that, it's just a restore. Now, if you right-click and then refresh, you should see that DB back right there. Now, what's in? So remember, we had a table there, right? We'll say use DB. Go select star from test, I think it was. Okay, and then here I'm going to highlight, run that, so as you can see right there. Now, hey, how about information of Jane Doe, John Doe, and so forth? So as you can see, there's none there, right? Because we back them up as a transaction log and not the entire database. Okay, so here I could do the same thing. I could say restore log. Okay, restore log DB. Okay, from disk equals, and here I'm just going to copy and paste the first one. This one here. Okay, and then I'm going to highlight. There we go. Oh, it's currently in use. So I have to say use master go. I'm going to run this again. Okay, let's see. Can't be restored because no files are ready to roll forward. Okay, so in this case, I think I got roll forward. Let's see what's going on there. Restore log database from this. Okay, I can see what's going on here, but you should be able to restore from that log. Okay, I'll do some see why it's rolling. It's ready to, because no files are ready to roll forward. I can see what that means. So DB1, DB1, just making sure everything's good. Okay, there you go. All right, so print screen number 7 is pretty much this part here. So restoring of the database right here. Okay. Now, what I could do here, if I say, I'm going to run that backup one more time. Backup. No, let's do this here. I'm going to first insert. Okay, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to insert the first one. Oh, make sure you choose DB. I'm going to insert the first one. I'm going to insert a second row. And then I'm going to insert the third row. Okay, so now we know that here, if I say select star from test here, we got 3 rows. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to back it up. There we go. We got the backup. Now I'm going to drop the database. So I'm going to drop the database. So it's gone. Now if I restore again, so here restore database, it's back. Now if I say select star from test, here I gotta say use DB first. Use DB. So as you can see, the data is back right there. Okay. So you should always do a full database backup. Oh, I think that's what happened, guys. I should have done a full database backup first and then do a backup along. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So going back, what's print screen? So print screen is basically this part here for number 7. Okay, print screen number 7. All right, print screen 6. So let's go to print screen 6. Okay, now print screen 6, you can pretty much just copy the backup database with format. So let's go back up here. So this will be print screen 6. So this one here. And here, you just want to say with format, and then here there's something called a checksum. It says print. What the checksum means, I have to say use. I don't. Okay, run it. Okay. You'll notice that it took a little longer. What the checksum means, it means to check the validity if the db.bak is corrupted or not. So sometimes it can become corrupted, and if it is corrupted, it will tell you that something's wrong with your backup. So that's very, very important, because when the time to restore comes, if you have a corrupted backup, you won't be able to restore. Okay, so this is basically right here, print screen number 6 right there. The checksum. So that's very important as a database administrator, especially when you're doing backups. Okay. All right. So we did 6, we did 7, also up here. Okay, so that's 7. Okay, and this is basically print screen number 6. All right, cool. All right, now maintenance plans are pretty cool. Maintenance plans, if you look at here, if you look, I think it's under management. Yeah, you have to expand management. Yeah, right here, maintenance plans. If you expand maintenance plans here, let's see here. They already have one that says backup all databases. So if you right click here and then just execute that, look what happens. So whatever database I have here, including the system database, it should back up everything. There we go. So as you can see, it's backed up. Okay, so you can double click on the backup all database. Okay, and basically it'll tell you it's not scheduled. You can schedule it if you want here also. Okay, and so forth. Okay, there we go. Now, if you want to make your own, you can right click and then new maintenance plan. You can say new maintenance plan wizard. I think that's better. Okay, so let's say here I'm going to click on next. I'll call this backup my DBs only. Okay, so meaning DB employees West Coast, employees East Coast. Okay, I'm going to say next. I want to check the database integrity. Let's see what else is there. Backup full. Okay, those are the only things I would like to do. Okay, the check database integrity is important. If the database is corrupted, it will tell you that it won't be able to back it up. A full backup is always needed. Okay, right here. Okay, and there's some other maintenance you can do. Okay, I'm going to click on next here. Okay, and then basically it tells you what you've chosen. Okay, there. Okay, and then here you can click on next. Okay, and then here databases. I'm going to choose my DB employees West and East. Okay, and then pretty much you click OK. Okay, and then here you click on. I think it was still going. Okay, I think I chose my. Let me do it again. I think okay, it's checked off. Next. Okay, now I'll write a report to a text file. So I'm going to write a report to my E drive so I can find it. That's my USB. Next, and then finish. Okay, so as you can see, it should say all successes. Okay, there we go. Everything is successful. So now all you got to do is right click and then here, execute whenever you want to back it up. Okay, so let's see what kind of report you created. So here's the report. Now, if you double click on the file, it basically will give you the report of the success and so forth. Okay, what it did, what kind of SQL script it created, and so forth. Okay, so the database administrator, if there's something wrong with it, they'll go through this report. Okay, and hopefully to let you know exactly what might have gone wrong, pretty much. All right, so there's no print screen on the maintenance plans, by the way. Okay, so that's again for everyone's, what SQL can do. There's a lot of stuff that SQL can do, and a lot of stuff that you can automate, so forth. Okay, and so forth, I should say. All right, now let's look at creating logins. Okay. Now a login is basically, if you look at security here, this is going to be print screen number 8. Okay, if you double click on the logins here, so as you can see, we got the SA, System Administrator login here. Now you can create different logins too. I'm going to delete Jane here. You probably don't have it here, but if you do, go ahead and delete them. Okay, so here I'll say delete, right click, delete. I just like to start from fresh. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now you notice that I'm pointing to my DB here, right? Now here, there we go. So here I could say something like SP and login. Let's put our name and the password. I'm going to give SEC123. So if I highlight that and run it, you'll notice that if I right click and refresh, I should see Jason as login. Okay. So what this means is if I open up another SQL, there you go. I'm just going to open the second one. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now here I'm going to say SQL Server Authentication, and here I'm going to type in Jason with the password. Okay, now if I click on connect, let's see what happens. So I can see I'm connected. Now if you look at here, I'm going to spread this out. It says Jason up here. Where's this highlighted? Now if I click on new query, and if I point to the DB here, it says it's not accessible. So yeah, I'm going to do it again because I don't have permission. I have permission to log in, but I don't have permission to actually use that database here. Okay, so as you can see. So I have to go back here. Okay, so now from here, we added, oh, by the way, this is going to be print screen number 8. Okay, the SP add login, your name with the password. Okay, and make sure you test it too. Okay. All right, now you can, so that's the login. Now, if you type, after that, you type in SP underscore, add user, and the user. Okay, so you need to log in first in order to add the user. Okay, so that's going to add the user there. Okay, now if I go back to my Jason here, see Jason here. Okay, so I'll go back up here. I'm going to say DB. So I still don't have access to that database. Okay, all right. So now what we got, and then by the way, this is going to be print screen number 9. So let me write this down here, just to be print screen number 8. Okay, this would be print screen number 9. Okay, so make it a little bit easier. Now, so now we have to add the privileges to Jason. So if you right click on Jason or your name, click on properties, you'll notice up here where it says, let me find it, server roles. Yeah, server roles. And here I can say system admin. I'm sorry, I think it's system admin is the database creator. Yeah, system admin. Okay, or they call it sysadmin, right? Now, if you click OK, okay, so that's going to give sysadmin rights. Okay, and then here I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if I can point to the database. There, so as you can see now I can point to the database without no problem here. Now, if I say select asset from test, because we don't remember we have a test database. So here we have basically the we can select from Jason in this case. Okay, so as you can see right there. Okay. Now that's because now you can also grant like this here. So you can say this would be print screen number 10. So you can say you can use the grant keyword, select on test to Jason like this here, even though Jason already has that permission. So this would be print screen number 10. And also you can say revoke select on test from Jason. So that's going to revoke it here. Okay. So now I revoke the select statement on the test table. So if I go back to Jason here, so I'm able to execute that now here. Now you notice that I'm still able to execute it here because I have sysadmin rights. So let me go back up here, double click on Jason. So you notice that here, no matter what, if I click on server rows, if I uncheck that, just like this here, okay, click OK, right? So I unchecked it. Now if I go back here, okay, now if I highlight the select star from test, and notice that it says select permission denied. You see that? Let me just make that a little bit bigger. It says select permission denied, right? Select permission denied on that object called test. If I go back, if I say grant again, say grant. If I go back here, if I execute it, you'll notice that now I have it here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to revoke it. Oops. I have to highlight the whole thing. I revoked it. Going to go back. This is JSON. This is select permission denied. So as you can see right there. Okay. So you can start granting, selecting. Now you can say grant insert, grant delete, grant update, revoke all of those source statements, so forth, and so forth. Pretty much. Okay. All right. Print screen number 11 is basically this one here. Okay. So here, this will be print screen 11. So we got 8, 9, 10, and also 11 right there. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at the, now companies are always moving data from one place to another here. Now here, I'm going to click where it says type here to search and type in import. Let me see. There you go. You should see the SQL Server 19 or 22, really doesn't matter which one you use. I'm going to use the 22. It says import and export. So I'm going to click on that. Now this is pretty neat how you can move the data around. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it works now. So here, if you click on next, it's going to ask you the source and the destination. All right, so here, let me see if I can. Okay, so let me cancel this. Yeah, let me cancel. I think, let me try it again. Import, let me choose the 19 version. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't run. Okay, 19. Next, yeah, this is what you see. All right, so it's basically ask us, where's the source of the data? Well, the source of my data is going to be from my SQL Server. Okay, what's the server name? It's going to be local. I should have done that. Okay, and then here you should be able to click on the refresh button. Okay, now when you click on the refresh button, yeah, this could take a while. I should, and again, if it does, you can always open up another one. I really hate to wait. 19 and open another one. Okay, so next here. Okay, there we go. And okay, we're going to use Microsoft Already SQL Server. Don't click on the refresh, that takes forever. On the drop down, I'm going to say DB. This is my source. Okay, click on next. Where's your destination? So let's say I want to put it into an Excel file for some reason. And then where's the Excel path? So I'm going to put it, and again, I'm going to put it into my E flash drive. Okay. Oh, you got to create an Excel file. I forgot. So that I'm going to create an Excel file here, right here. We'll call it, what should we call this here? We'll just call it test here, okay? And then just double click. And as you can see, that's the Excel file. Next. So that's the destination. I want to copy everything over. It's going to be test. You can preview that. So as you can see right there. Next. And here, full name bar chart and full name long test. Okay, so that's the data type. So I'm going to click on next and next, and finally we're going to click on finish. Okay, everything should turn green. It should say 3 rows or whatever rows that you have. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel that. And if I look at the test here, if I open this up, okay, just open that up. All right, and here under the test here, it creates a tab called test here. It has all of your data there. So you can easily move data around. So if I open up this again, let me open up that one more time. And go to the test tab. I can put, let's say, number 4, and here I would say Jake Doe. Okay, so we got another one. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Okay, so Jake Doe. Okay, now this only works well if you have large amounts of data. I'm gonna open up the SQL Server. import again. Mine's going to be 2019. Now, if I say next again, it's going to ask you the source. Well, my source is going to be from the SQL Server, Excel, from the test here. And my destination now is going to be Microsoft SQL Server. It's going to be 4DB. Okay, next. Copy. Now here is going to be from this one here, test, right? And you can always preview that. Just make sure. That one has 3. It might be this one. Yeah, 4. Okay, so here, I'm going to uncheck this one. Make sure you click on Oh, you do have to click on both of them. Okay, so we should have 4 there. Okay, so I did have 4 a while ago. There we go. So Jake goes right there. Okay, so make sure you see 4. Okay, next, and next, and next, and finally finish. Okay, so if you say now 4 rows transferred. Okay, so if I go back to SQL Server, and if I run that select star from test, here I should see basically 4 here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you see here, let's see, Jake though. What did it do? What I exactly wanted to do? Let's see. It actually doubled it 2. Yeah, I did something wrong, obviously. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me do that one more time. Okay, so import. Probably want to truncate it to source, Excel, browse, test. I got to choose a destination, SQL Server. It's going to be on a DB. Now, if you want a new database, you can. You can click on New Database here. Okay, copy the info. Okay. All right. Okay, I think okay, destination, DBO test. Okay, right here. So this is the destination here. So I can see that's the DBO test. And if you click on the edit mappings, let's see what this gives us. Okay, so that gives us the size and everything, preview. Okay, select star from test. Okay, let's see here, preview. Okay, 1 through 4. I think it should be only this one, with the one with the $sign on it. Okay, so let's see how this works. Okay, I'm gonna next, finish. Okay, this is a 4 rows transferred. Remember, I had 3 and 4. Okay, so 3 and 4 here. Now, let me see how the data looks like now. Okay, so as you can see, okay. All right, I probably have to truncate this. So what you could do is use something called a truncate table test. Truncate here. So, and if you do this, what this is going to do, if I do select star, oops, from test, I should have done this earlier probably. Okay, it's going to keep everything. Okay. Now I'm going to do it one more time. It's going to keep everything except the data, because we already have the data here. Let's try one more time. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Let me preview that. Okay, 1 through 4. So I want to see 4. Jason, John, Jane, and Jake. Okay, and let me just check out this here really quick. DBO test, DBO test. Okay, I think you have to click on the one that has no $sign on this one. Okay. Review. Okay. Next, hopefully this works. Okay. If you see 4, and now if I select star from, let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we got Jason, John, Jane, and also Jake there. Okay, so it's good to use the truncate table so it doesn't duplicate the information. Okay. Okay, so truncate means keep the table but delete all the data inside of there, pretty much. Okay. All right, so as you can see, you can start importing, exporting all different kinds of formats, things, and so forth. Okay, let's get the print screen for number 12. Okay, so let's go one more time here. Okay, so And let's do it one more time. I'm going to truncate the table first. Okay, I'm going to open up the end port, and we'll get the print screen this time. Do it one more time, last time. It's going from Excel, browse. This is my source. Next. My destination, SQL Server. You're going to choose DB. Next. Next. With the $sign, and up here you have to choose the one without the $sign, because that's my test table. Click on preview just in case. Okay, next, 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 and then finish. Here's the print screen. Don't close the screen here. This would be print screen number 12 right here, where it says everything's successful. Okay. All right, cool. And now print screen number 13 is not a print screen. It's basically a copy and paste. You can do Control A, Control C, and just copy all the code, the SQL code that we created here under number 13, and then submit that to Module 4, class exercise number 4. Okay. All right, cool. All right, everyone. Thank you. And I'll see everyone soon. Have a great day.